It's been a while since I've uploaded a video. As you guys can tell by the title and the thumbnail, I spent the last 2 weeks in Portugal with my family. It was amazing. I did a total of 3 runs there. We started out in the north, did one in the central, and then did one in the south. Over the course of this video, you guys are gonna come with me on those runs, see some of the scenery, and without further ado, let's head to Portugal. Okay, so as you guys can see, currently in Porto, Portugal. This is the 5th day there. This is the first run of the trip. I've just been kind of relaxing, eating a lot of good food, probably eating too many desserts, if I'm being honest. That run was beautiful. You guys would have seen clips. It was all just along the waterfront. The weather is nice. Usually Portugal is known for being super hot, but it hasn't been super hot recently. It's pretty similar to the weather back home. I only did 7K, and then at the end of that run was this huge hill, like super long. Probably the hardest hill that I've ever done. As you guys can tell, I'm extremely out of breath right now. Portugal is extremely hilly. The entire city is just built on mountains, and so there's layers to it. And so I did most of the run, like I said, by the waterfront, which is very flat. But in order to get back to the Airbnb, I had to go up the hill that I originally went down. And also, Portugal has a ton of cobblestone because it's a very old city, and so the terrain is not ideal to run on. And there's been a couple times where I've almost tripped. I was running down the waterfront area and I saw another guy trip. I had to like sprint over to him, help him up, make sure he was okay. But that was awesome. I'm so happy. You guys will be seeing more runs in this video, so enjoy. Quick story time, because this was one of my favorite moments of the trip. When we were in Porto, we stayed in an Airbnb, and the street that we were staying on was called Boa Vista. Just remember that. Remember Boa Vista, because this is very important. Every single morning outside of our Airbnb, there was this homeless guy who would walk around the streets doing this little dance where he'd wave his arms in the air and he would just repeatedly scream Boa Vista. I don't know what it was, but he just had some kind of fiery passion about our street. On our last day, I figured, you know what? This guy has been out there every single day. It looks like he could use some help. I'm gonna go give him some money. When I gave him the money, I went up to him and I said, Boa Vista. And he got so hyped. He was so happy that I said that to him. He tried to speak to me in Portuguese, but I said, no, just English. And so he just kept saying Boa Vista. And so I asked him, I said, hey, can I take a video of this? He goes, yeah. So I took out my phone and the rest is history.
Hey. Boa Vista! Boa Vista! Boa Vista! Boa Vista!
I still don't really know who the Boa Vista guy is. I wish him the best of luck in the future. And if you're still watching at this point, drop a Boa Vista down in the comments for him. During this trip, we did a lot of walking, and as I mentioned earlier, the landscape is super hilly, so as you can guess, my calves were feeling it. Here is the main square area. This was beautiful. We were there almost every day. This is a soccer store called FC Portugal. They have these everywhere across the country, and if you go back and rewind that clip, it looks like somebody hits the camera out of my hand, and that is exactly what happened. Apparently they have a super strict filming policy, which I was unaware of, and the employee literally sprinted over, swatted the camera out of my hand, and went on with his day. Here's a nice view of the ocean. This guy was chilling up in the clock tower, turning something, so I decided to film him. This is us in an area called Time Out Market. It's basically like a big food court that has a bunch of different cuisines. I decided to settle on Italian, and I got a pizza. It's one of my favorite foods. They had some great desserts as well, but the donut that I got was not amazing. We also played a little bit of mini putting. It was a little dinky. Wasn't the traditional kind of mini putting that we see here back home in Canada, at least. We did some exploring through the caves. That's me and my family. This guy was protecting his animals that he made out of sand from the waves. And then after the trip, I was super tired, so I just had to ring this bell. So at this point, I was about to go on my second run of the trip in Lisbon, but I realized I only filmed 2 clips. So I just have this one of me kind of awkwardly going down the stairs, and then I have the second one of me running along the boardwalk. But that's it for run number 2. So at this point, we had arrived at our final destination. We went to the southernmost area in Portugal known as the Algarve. We stayed in a city called Lagos, and that right there was the view from our hotel room. Lagos is kind of like the typical beachy vacation spot that a lot of people will go to just because The views are amazing. There's a lot more relaxing. It's not as fast paced as some of the other big cities. We did a lot of sightseeing here. As you can see, we went high up on some mountains and the views were absolutely immaculate. We were supposed to do a kayak tour on the water, but that got canceled because the waves were too big and it would have been a little dangerous to do so. But we were still able to take a boat tour on the water, get to look at some of the caves in the rocks, and that's actually where the thumbnail of this video was taken. Here's a little walk at nighttime, just kind of taking in the scenery. Good morning. Today is one of my last days in Portugal. I'm just taking a little walk right next to the beautiful Atlantic Ocean. I know it looks nice, but let me tell you, it is freezing. I think it's about 60 degrees Celsius right now. I've been in it a couple times. It's almost the equivalent to taking an ice bath. Today is gonna be my third and final run while I'm here. We've been to 3 different spots. So I've been to Porto, did a run there along the water, been to Lisbon, did a run there along the water, and now I am in Lagos in the Algarve. This is my final run, probably gonna do about 10K. Let's go hit that. Okay, so I'm like 2 kilometers in, but I'm running on this boardwalk. It's made out of wood, and this is such a foreign surface to run on, and my feet are not used to it. Feels a little strange. Feel the calves cramping a little bit, but we move. Okay, so I'm done. It was not 10 kilometers. It was a whopping 3.75. I'm exhausted from this entire vacation. I'm sunburnt, and the sun here in Portugal, especially down south in the Algarve, while running is different. Like if I want to come running, right now it's 8 in the morning. I need to come at 5:30 in the morning, but I'm gonna be home in the next few days anyways. Then I have a couple weeks to kind of lay the bricks for marathon prep, and then it's either June 16th or 17th. My official training block starts. Also, I just got dirt in my eye, so if I look weird, I can't even see myself in the camera, but I'm probably like winking and doing all this extra stuff I can't see. But that's it for Portugal. I don't know if I'll see you guys back home, but yeah. And just like that, the trip was over. We hopped on the plane, and now I'm currently back home, getting into the swing of things. My marathon prep starts on June 17th, so I'm looking forward to that. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to have a new video up every single week, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.